Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and really look at what it takes to build a professional medical transport service from the ground up. We're going to go way beyond just the vans and the drivers to explore all the essential groundwork that has to happen long before the first engine ever even starts.
So let's just start with the big question. What does it really take to get a service like this off the ground? If you think it's just a matter of buying some vehicles and hiring a few drivers, well, you might be surprised. The reality is actually much, much deeper than that.
Because, see, it's not just about transportation. It's about building an entire foundation of safety, compliance, and, maybe most importantly, trust. So, okay, let's dive into this blueprint and see exactly what that foundation looks like. Every strong building has to start with a solid bedrock, right? Well, it's the same here. Before anything else can happen, the company has to be brought into formal legal existence. This is the absolute non-negotiable first step that makes everything else possible. This whole process kicks off with two key documents. First, you've got the Articles of Organization. That's the paperwork that officially creates the company under state law, giving it a real legal identity. Then comes the Employer Identification Number, or EIN. You can think of this like a social security number, but for the business. It's absolutely essential for opening a bank account, filing taxes, and of course, hiring employees. Together, these two things form that legal and financial cornerstone. So once the company legally exists, the very next step is to plug it into the world it's actually going to operate in, healthcare. And that means getting the business to speak the same language as hospitals, clinics, and other facilities. And this is where something called the National Provider Identifier, or NPI, comes in. This is a huge deal. It's a unique ID number that basically signals to the entire healthcare system that this company isn't just a taxi service. It's a professional partner that's ready to coordinate with facilities and operate properly within their environment. It's a massive credential for building trust right out of the gate. All right, with the legal and healthcare identity established, we can now turn inward and look at the operational core, that internal blueprint that's going to govern quality and safety day in and day out.
Now, this is where things get really interesting, especially with this distinction right here. Policies are the what. They are the high-level rules that set the standards for things like safety and professional conduct. But then you have standard operating procedures, or SOPs. Those are the how. They give you the detailed step-by-step instructions for everything from vehicle inspections to communicating with a client. So one defines the rules, the other provides the actual playbook.
And then we get even more specific with protocols. These are hyper-focused procedures for really critical situations. Think about things like properly securing a mobility device, or exactly what to do if there's a service interruption. Protocols are designed to remove all the guesswork, ensuring the exact same safe actions are taken every single time, which is just absolutely vital for passenger safety.
And this right here shows you the complete safety framework. See how it works. You start broad with the policies, then you get more detailed with the SOPs for all the routine work, and then you drill all the way down to the critical life-saving actions with the protocols. It's a really comprehensive top-to-bottom approach to safety. But a great framework is only as good as the systems that are there to support it. To make sure a company can actually grow without compromising on quality, it needs a really robust digital and administrative infrastructure right from day one.
And this infrastructure really has two crucial sides. On the operational side, you've got the engine of the service, systems for scheduling, dispatch, and tracking compliance that keep everything running smoothly every day. But just as important is the administrative backbone, systems for bookkeeping, payroll, you name it, that ensure long-term stability. Building both of these before you launch, that's the difference between planning for responsible, sustainable growth and just hoping for the best after a chaotic start.
So, we've walked through the legal work, the healthcare integration, the safety frameworks, the operational systems, but let's pause for a second. Why? Why does all of this meticulous, behind-the-scenes work matter so much?
It matters because every single one of these steps serves a critical purpose. This work, above all else, protects patients and partners. It dramatically reduces operational risk, which in turn builds the confidence of anyone we partner with, from lenders to healthcare facilities. It lays the groundwork for seamless regulatory compliance, and like we just saw, it enables growth that is responsible, not reckless. This quote from the source material just captures it perfectly. This isn't about delaying the launch for the sake of it. It's about making an investment in the long-term success, safety, and stability of the entire operation. And honestly, sharing this whole process with you, showing you what's happening behind the curtain, that's an act of transparency.
It's meant to build trust from the very beginning by showing a fundamental commitment to doing things the right way, not just the easy way.
So this solid foundation is in place, but the building isn't finished yet, which leads to the question, what comes next on the road to launch?
Now, this is when the more visible steps start to happen. Acquiring the vehicles, hiring and training the right staff, and securing all the final licenses. The key, though, is that each of these next steps is intentionally sequenced to be built on top of the solid, professional foundation we've just explored. No shortcuts.
Because ultimately, it all comes down to this. Launching a service that people truly depend on is about so much more than just a business plan. It's about a promise to operate with integrity, professionalism, and a deep sense of preparedness. That's how trust is really built, right from the ground up.